Waverider hypersonic missile. The recently released Fateh, 2 hypersonic aircraft by the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Space Force. The range reaches 1,400 kilometers, the flight speed reaches 13 to 15 times the speed of sound, and the interception difficulty is extremely high. It is claimed to be able to penetrate the U.S. defense system and Israel's Iron Dome air defense network. From the already released photos, it can be seen that the Fateh missile is black in color, with a slender shape and a pointed head that becomes thick from the middle. There are 4 single wings distributed before and after the missile. From the above features, it does indeed have a biconical design, but it is not very obvious. As is well known, there are only 2 configurations of practical hypersonic missile warheads in the world. One is a bipyramidal body and the other is a Waverider body. Compared to them, the latter has more advanced performance. The Waverider is a type of hypersonic aircraft with additional shock waves, and its shape is streamlined. During flight, the aircraft is like sitting on the surface of a shock wave, using the shock wave to provide lift, which is called a Waverider. Due to the fact that the shock wave on the lower wall of the Waverider can adhere to the leading edge during flight, it suppresses the outflow of airflow on the lower wall, resulting in a larger lift-to-drag ratio. When the speed is below Mach 5, the aircraft will generate shock waves, which then converge in large numbers at the head of the aircraft, causing varying degrees of resistance. But when the speed reaches Mach 5 or above, the air shock wave will transfer from the original head to the underside of the aircraft, reducing drag and increasing lift. Compared to regular warheads, wave-mounted warheads can better utilize shock wave advantages. Missiles that use wave-mounted warheads and have lateral/longitudinal orbit changing capabilities. The Waverider structure is like taking a piece of sheet-like stone to float or surf on the water surface. This type of Waverider can fly outside the atmosphere and then float at the atmospheric boundary, as well as surf inside the atmosphere. To put it simply, the biggest feature of deformable wave-riding hypersonic missiles is that they no longer maintain a single maneuvering flight state, resulting in better penetration effects and greater interception difficulty. The Waverider is a new type of aerodynamic structure with great potential for development. However, there are still many problems that need to be solved urgently. For example, the longitudinal static stability of wave-riding aircraft is an important factor limiting its engineering applications. In addition, when hypersonic missiles fly in the atmosphere, due to their high speed, the nose cone is prone to severe friction with the air, resulting in a high temperature of 2000 degrees Celsius. Therefore, we also need to overcome the problem of high temperature resistant materials during our research and development. The solutions can be roughly divided into 4 categories. One is the widespread use of heat-resistant, high-temperature resistant, corrosion-resistant, and high-strength structural materials, and the other is the use of integrated thermal structure design. In other words, it should be the integration of fuel supply and cooling system design, using a dedicated cooling system to cool down key locations that are prone to overheating. The third method is to install insulation and heat dissipation materials, and the fourth method is to optimize the aerodynamic layout. Wind tunnels play an irreplaceable role in the entire development process of hypersonic missiles. They can simulate different flight environments of missiles and obtain important key data. With the continuous improvement of hypersonic weapon technology, existing wind tunnels are no longer sufficient to simulate more suitable extreme environments. Therefore, in recent years, China has increased investment to build the detonation-driven ultra-high-speed high-enthalpy shock wave wind tunnel. With a total length of 167 meters, it is the only ground experimental platform that covers the entire flight corridor of nearby space vehicles, not only laying the technical foundation for China's development of hypersonic aircraft, but also promoting the development of space vehicles. According to an internal document from a building in a certain North American country, its satellite observed that we conducted a test launch of the latest type of hypersonic missile on February 25 of this year. The document referred to it as DF-27, and the data showed that this flying object flew 2,100 kilometers in 12 minutes with a nearly gliding trajectory, accounting for 2,917 meters per second, about 8.6 Mach. However, this is only an average speed, and the missile's acceleration phase before the start is relatively slow, and it needs to rise to an altitude of at least 30 kilometers or more, so its fastest speed is also over 10 times the speed of sound. DF-26 is a medium to long-range missile with a range of up to 5,000 kilometers. It is located along the southeast coast and can easily reach second island chains such as Guam. Therefore, it is also known as Guam Express. It is rumored to have a maximum speed of 12 to 18 Mach and a strike accuracy error of no more than 10 meters. The DF-27, which uses a wave-mounted warhead, should also have such performance. The technology of wave riding is not only useful for hypersonic missiles, but also has a significant impact on hypersonic aircraft. Due to the large flight altitude, 0 to 40 kilometers, and large variable speed range, Mach equals 0-6 km, of reusable hypersonic aircraft, it is difficult to ensure a high lift-to-drag ratio if the shape is fixed. The flexible deformation technology of wings enables them to adapt to various flight conditions and tasks. This technology may be used for sixth-generation aircraft.